Today I'm going to show you guys how I like to clean and lube my AR15. It's a simple method that doesn't require much, so let's get into it. Alright guys, I wanted to make this short video on how I clean my AR15. Now I know there's a lot of different methods out there, but the way that I do it here, just works for me, and it's a simple way to do it. And it really doesn't require much. So let's get right into it. Let me first go over the things that I'm going to be using today. First, here I have the Solvent. This is from Shooter Lube. It works great. The reason why I like this is because it's odorless and it actually cleans very well. So this is the Solvent, the cleaner that I use. For the lube, I have the Hoppe's lubricating gun oil. I prefer to use this oil on my AR15 versus the Shooter Lube oil because this one kind of just stays wet longer, which is what I want for my AR15. The Shooter Lube tends to soak into the pores a little faster than this one does, so that's why I like to use Hoppe's. I have a bore snake here, which I'm going to show you the correct way to use this, and I have a small flathead screwdriver here to help me take it down a little bit, and then I have a rag to clean up. All right, and of course some rubber gloves. All right, so first we're going to make sure that we're safe and clear. All right, we're good to go. And the first thing you want to do is push these pins out. I'm going to use my screwdriver to help push them out. All right, we're going to separate the upper from the lower, and honestly I don't do much to the lower. It doesn't really get that dirty. I might just kind of wipe it down a little bit like this, get any debris out of the mag well that might be in there, and that's basically all I do to my lower. All right, to the upper. First, we're going to take this down, taking out the or pulling back the charging handle like that. Your bolt carrier group will come out and your charging handle will come out. We can now disassemble our bolt carrier group. So the first thing you want to do is remove this pin that's right here with your flathead screwdriver. Just push up on that, comes out very easily. Then your firing pin will drop out just like that. Okay, we're gonna remove this guy here, and this will just come out just like that. So now we're pretty much ready to start cleaning. So I'll take the spray, and first I'd like to work it down into the breech here, the chamber, and just let it kind of soak down. I'm running out of this spray. I have another bottle there though. There we go. Let's get that nice and nice and wet in there. And that'll work its way down. And we'll just kind of set that aside. All right, now we can just pretty much soak everything else. Make sure to get in all the crevices all around. The more the better. This stuff will just eat up at all the carbon, build up, and leave everything nice and clean. Get the firing pin and the charging handle. All right, once we get everything soaked up, grab the rag here, just kind of start wiping everything down. This stuff works pretty quickly. So you can start wiping down right away. And then we start setting that aside as we go. Get the firing pin, give that a nice wipe. You can see how the carbon just comes right off. Okay, now I don't like to use brushes or anything like that because I could leave marks or mess with the tolerances. So if it's just really built up, I mean, this is pretty clean. I don't know if you could tell in the camera, but that's pretty clean there. That's as clean as you need it. So we set these aside. Let's get the pin there, dry that up. We just dry everything one piece at a time, make sure everything is nice and dry. That's pretty clean. Get our bolt here. See, look at that. That's dirty. Haven't cleaned this one in a while. Now here on the bolt itself, it usually gets some carbon buildup here. And I know that, you know, some people like to get a brush and brush that off, but honestly, I've never seen it, I've never had a problem with that. And it actually, by removing that, you start messing with the tolerances, because shooting your AR with this buildup, it starts to create different tolerances inside the bolt carrier and all that. So you don't want to mess with that. It doesn't need to be pristine. And now if you start to have issues, then you could start cleaning that out, but otherwise it's fine to just leave it there. And get in the breech face there. And we're gonna dry this up real good. Wipe it down. That's pretty dry. Get the bottom side here. Get into the these rails. Okay, and I might take the rag and bring it across here. Bring it through here. Get that dried up a little bit in there. And you could also take the rag and kind of push it in here a little bit, twist it around, and it comes out a little dirty there. Okay, you can kind of do the same thing here. Just push that in. You can even pull it from this side here. If I can get it. There we go. Pull that out a little bit and then back out. And there we go. That's pretty much clean. That's good to go. Sometimes what I like to do is fold the rag and put it under here. Okay, and that'll take care of that. Now as far as the upper, I'll take this rag, just using my finger, I'll wipe that down in there, get into the chamber and the breech face here. Kind of use my finger, wiggle it around in there to get some of that carbon out. Doesn't have to be perfect. Get the sides here. All right, now we can take our bore snake. Okay, the way I like to do it is I'll drop it in through the top here. Okay, let it come out the bottom. Now, what you want to do here, when you pull this through, you don't want it to be hanging down, because it could get caught up and it could, some of the stuff could get loose and stay stuck inside the barrel. So what you want to do is, you want to face it straight up and down and pull it straight up. so that it doesn't catch along the rim of your muzzle. Pull it all the way just enough so that you can grab it again, and then do the same thing from the other side. Make sure it's facing straight up and down. Pull that all the way through, and then we're going to do it one last time. Turn that around, make sure it's nice and straight, and we're going to pull it all the way through this time. Okay, now I'm going to look down the barrel, and that is clean. There's nothing in there, no debris left. That's good to go. I'm going to wipe down some of the excess. Okay, got some over here. Just going around wiping down some of the excess solvent. Okay, that's good. Now that everything is nice and dry, we can start lubing everything up. So I'll go ahead, I'll start with the charging handle. I'll put just a few drops along the top there, and I'll take my finger and I'll spread that all around. A little goes a long way with these oils. So sometimes if I need a little bit more, I'll kind of just dab it onto my finger and spread it around. Just make sure that's nice and oiled up. Okay, we can set that aside. We'll get our bolt carrier here. I like to run my ARs wet. I've noticed that it performs best when they're nice and lubed up. So I'll just kind of dab a few drops here and there, and then spread that around, all the way around. Try to get into the little crevices here. Just make sure it's nice and spread all the way around, especially where, if you can tell there's some metal wearing away, that's because metal's hitting metal. You especially want to go over those areas. Make sure that's nice and lubed up all the way around. I've never had any issues doing it this way. Never had any malfunctions or anything. On the contrary, it actually runs better when I do it this way than if I don't put enough oil. So okay, and once that's done, we can set that aside. We'll grab our bolt, a couple drops. Don't need too much on this. We can just spread it around. Okay, I like to get in between here so that it slides in and out of the chamber, the breech face. It doesn't get stuck. Okay, I don't like to dip my finger in there, because that's where the firing pin comes out of. If anything, I'll just do the rim. That's enough. Okay, get that nice and wet. Now for these pieces, I've got enough already on my gloves, so I'll just kind of spread that around, wipe it off on these. Same thing on here. And the firing pin really doesn't need much. So that's pretty much it. Now we can start putting this back together. First thing is, you'll grab your bolt carrier and your bolt. I like to kind of twist it and come in and out a little bit just to spread that lube around. And I'll line up the hole for the pin here. Ooh, other side. Drop that in there. And that spins around. Yep, we're good to go. Now from here, making sure that this is pulled back, I'll drop my firing pin right in there. Make sure it goes all the way through. Grab the pin here, push it in the hole. Sometimes you gotta mess with it a little bit. Oh, it wasn't lining up on the other side. There we go. Okay, that's nice and smooth. Firing pin is secure. All right. Now for this part, I take my gloves off so that I don't get oil all over the gun. So I'll go ahead and remove this. Set that aside. I'll start here with the charging handle. Okay, about there. Grab the bolt carrier group. You want to make sure your bolt is out, not in, because if not, it won't go in. So you want to make sure it's pulled out. Set it in there. So you get the click. And we get our lower and just put everything back. Line it up. Push our pins through. Test it out. Oh yeah, smooth like butter. Now let's see if resets. Yep. And that's it, guys. She's clean. Nice, simple, easy. You know, it's quick. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it gets the job done. Never had any issues doing it this way, and I've been doing it like this for a long time. So I hope this helps some of you guys out. Until the next one, God bless. Stay safe.